Let's take a look at another example here, and I'm just gonna wait until I have my numbers in here before I start labeling. We can also have an x squared and an x term in the same equation. Now this just makes things a little bit different. You'll notice here, if you remember back from grade 10, this is what we would call a trinomial. Okay, it's a three-termed polynomial. Now we're making it into an equation where we have a trinomial inside of our equation. So if we're going to have an x squared and an x term, the x value is actually exactly the same for each time. So for the first one here, both of those would be -2. So if we plug that in, we're going to have y is equal to -2, and then we're going to put -2 in for x, and then -2, and then we're going to put -2 in for x again, plus 3. So you'll notice here that it's a bit more of an equation, it's a bit longer of an equation going through that we go through. Okay. Now to find out what that y value is, we can plug it all into a calculator. So this will be -2 times, and now in my calculator I'm going to have to do it in brackets, squared, -2 times -2, I'm putting in brackets again, plus 3. And the y value is going to be -1. Okay. Now again, you can go through that -2, and so -2 squared is 4, so -2 times times 4 would be -8. -2 times -2 is +4, so it'll be 8 plus 4, or -8 plus 4, which is -4, and then we add 3, which is -1. So if you want to do it that way, you can as well. So that's -1. And we can keep going through, again, similar to what we did with the previous one. Squared -2 times -1 plus 3. And we can do this again, -2 times -1 squared, -2 times -1 plus 3. And this is +3. Okay, and we'll continue to go. Got +3, does that make sense? Just want to double check here. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. So we keep on going. Y is equal to -2 times 0 squared minus 2 times 0 plus 3. If we multiply anything by 0, it's just 0, so that is 3 there as well. And then y is equal to -2 times 1 squared minus 2 times 1 plus 3. And so this will be -2 times 1 minus 2 times 1 plus 3. There we go. So it says -1. You'll notice here -1, +3, and back to -1. And then finally, y is equal to -2 times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 3. And finally, times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 3 is -9. Now I'm actually not going to change the way that I normally do this. We're just going to have a point that's off the graph. And now normally I would not want you to do that, but for the sake of this graph here, I will. 4, 6. All right, so when we plot out the points, we're given these coordinates here. -2 is at -1, right there. -2, -1. And -1 is at +3, right there. So it's -1, +3. And 0, 3 is right here. And 1, -1 is right there. And I'm going to have to kind of estimate 2 a little bit, but 2 is going to be at -9, which is roughly 7, 8, 9, right about there. Yeah, we're going to call that point right there. So that's 2, -9. So what this is going to look like here is, again, we're going to have kind of a U. It's going to come through here. And these 2 points are the same, so we want to make it a U, so we're going to just do a bit of like a cap there. And you'll notice that this U here opens downward, but it's still a U. Okay, we're going to discuss why it does that and how we can understand those a little better a little later. But that's what our U is going to look like. It's now upside down, but again, it goes through those points. It comes in as a U. It's going to keep on going forever, so we have those arrows in there. This is how we can graph something out using a table of values, pick some values of x, plug them into the equation, and come up with the y value, plot those points, and then draw a nice line through.